The 2018 Acura TLX. The Acura TLX hit showrooms for the 2015 model year as a replacement for the TL and TSX sedans. After just a couple of years on the market, Acura commissioned a facelifted for 2018 that will keep the first generation alive until at least 2021. The big news here is that the TLX is getting a new pentagonal grille that not only replaces the beak found on most Acura vehicles but is also similar to the grille found on the Precision Concept and the updated MDX crossover. That new grille will be accented by new headlight units and a new fascia. Inside, the 2018 TLX changes very little with this facelift but does have Acura's updated dual-screen interface that's said to be 30% faster and has more intuitive menus. Drivetrain options carry over unchanged, with the base model making use of a 206 horsepower 4-cylinder and the TLX V6 getting the same 290 horsepower V6 mill. Pricing for the updated TLX starts out at $33,000 and climbs to as much as $45,750 for the range-topping TLX 3.5 SH-AWD with the advanced package. So, as you can see, the term facelift is perfect for this model as the updates are focused primarily on the exterior design. And, while there isn't any major improvement to the interior and absolutely zero improvements to the mechanical bits and pieces under the hood, it's still a fitting update after just a few short years on the market. With competition like the Infiniti Q50, Cadillac ATS, BMW 3 Series, and the Mercedes C-Class, the Acura TLX has its work cut out. Will the new looks be enough to keep the TLX relevant? Let's take a good look and find out. Exterior. The 2018 TLX represents what the TLX should have looked like when it was introduced a few years ago. As you can see from looking at the two pictures above, the 2018 TLX represents what the TLX should have looked like when it was introduced a few years ago. The updated model doesn't bring any groundbreaking changes into the fold, but the changes are plentiful enough. The main centerpiece of this update in the TLX itself is the new Acura Precision grille up front. Compared to the old Acura beak, it's visually pleasing to look at and, thanks to that unique mesh, it feels as if the Acura emblem is trying to pop out at you. The grille takes on a pentagonal shape with bold, thick chrome trim on all sides. It's a nice look that is built upon by the new headlights which now come to a point in the inner corners. They are still jewel-eye units in nature, but the outer corners of the lens also got a redesign for good measure. Down below, the rest of the fascia changed very little, but the corner vents have been redesigned for a sharper look and include new mesh. The fog lights here are also rectangular units as opposed to the round units found on pre-2018 models. The corner vents are accented by a much thicker chrome strip that wraps around the outside edge while the lips on the lower corners of the fascia are now more dominant. It's a pretty good look vehicle, and the refresh was just what the doctor ordered. The side profile of the TLX sees absolutely no change outside of a different matrix that's visible in the portion of the external light units that wrap around the corners. Most models roll on 19-inch wheels while the A-spec model gets 19-inch wheels. Around back, however, you'll find that the taillights are much more attractive thanks to a new matrix layout while the lower portion of the rear fascia gets a nice makeover as well. Chrome strips that mimic those up front grace to corners while the rectangular exhaust outlets are surrounded by a mild diffuser-like element that adds a bit of style and class to this luxury sedan. All told, it's a pretty good look vehicle, and the refresh was just what the doctor ordered, but how does it compare to the competition? Competing looks. For a basis of comparison, I want to mix things up a bit and take a look at the Cadillac ATS and the Infiniti Q50. While both models are considered compact luxury sedans, they actually fall right in the same price bracket, which means they are, in fact, competitors. And, that's exactly why the TLX has such an advantage, as you're literally getting more car and more room for the money. As you can see, the TLX is superior in most exterior dimensions. It beats out the Q50 in length by 2 inches and the ATS by nearly 8 inches. And it's generally the same story across the board, with the exception of wheelbase in which the Q50 is actually the superior of the three at 112.2 inches. Oddly enough, for a car being nearly 8 inches shorter, the ATS has an identical wheelbase to that of the TLX. As far as looks go, it's really a matter of opinion as to which looks better. Personally, I prefer the look of the 2018 TLX as the headlights are sleek and the grille rides that fine line between just right and too gaudy. The Infiniti Q50 isn't exactly a slouch in the looks department either, but the grille is rather undefined and kind of ugly looking, really, while the headlights look a little outdated. This is made up, at least in part, by the stylish lip and fake corner vents up front, but it could still use a little love from Infiniti's design department. Its side profile is fairly smooth but does feature a few sharp lines, and the rear haunches are pretty muscular for a car in this class. Around back, the Q50 really shines thanks to its modern-looking taillights with matching inner and outer lenses and dual exhaust outlets that are supported by a body-colored diffuser element with black surrounding trim. When it comes to the Cadillac ATS, the story is exactly the opposite, however. Its design seems dated and focused more toward the senior population than your typical 30-something with a bit of extra cheddar. The grille is on the far side of gaudy while the air dam and corner vents are all linked together to give it the front end a grin. The headlights are about as ugly as they could get, taking a tall approach that is recessed just a bit into the nose. The side profile is graced with a downward swooping beltline and a few sharp lines. To the rear, you find a more simplistic design with tall taillights and a third brake light that runs the full width of the rear deck. There is a diffuser-like element down below, but the real news here are the exhaust outlets that are oriented toward the center. Interior. Acura actually did it right with the single-piece soft-touch dash to go with wood trim inserts on the face of the dash, the armrests of the door trim panels, and the center console. One complaint I didn't have about the TLX when it debuted a few years ago was the interior. Acura actually did it right with the single-piece soft-touch dash to go with wood trim inserts on the face of the dash, the armrests of the door trim panels, and the center console. To help contrast things a bit, there's a silver insert on the center console, center stack, and armrest to match the accents on the steering wheel. Milano leather is available as an option, while things like triple door seals, acoustic glass windshield, and active noise control are all standard. There's heated and ventilated front seats, LED accent lighting, USB phone connectivity, and two displays in the center stack, one to display navigation and other information and another to control the infotainment system. Now, this two-screen system felt a little unorthodox at first, but for 2018, it has been updated with more intuitive menus and is also 30% quicker than before. This system also includes a new capacitive screen that replaces the previously used resistive style display. Standard features include Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, and a full-color TFT display in the instrument cluster. It may not have taken too many updates with the facelift, but one could argue that meddling too much would have done more bad than good. The base model now comes standard with the AcuraWatch suite of driver assist technologies. The V6 models with the technology package now get updated seat styling with high-contrast stitching and piping, while the A-Spec gets new styling and trim inside to go with increased front seat bolstering, ventilated front seats, and a wireless charging pad. The TLX Advance package adds on goodies like heated outboard rear seats, heated steering wheel, and a heated windshield. A-Spec models get red LED ambient light piping while the TLX V6 Advance gets white LED light piping. All told, it's a pretty impressive and comfortable cabin. It may not have taken too many updates with the facelift, but one could argue that meddling too much would have done more bad than good. Interior dimensions. Competing interiors. Take a look inside the Acura TLX, Infiniti Q50, or the Cadillac ATS, and, surprisingly, you'll find that they are all quite similar in design. Sure, they all have their own specific design cues, but they aren't all that dissimilar from one another. Take the center stacks, for instance. All three models feature vertically oriented HVAC vents and infotainment displays that are recessed into the stack. One noticeable difference is the ATS, which happens to have one large display screen while the Q50 and TLX both have dual screens. All three vehicles feature tall sitting center console, supportive seats, wooden garnishing on some trim levels, and sporty steering wheels. The Q50 seats are actually a bit more supportive than the rest and also gets a quilted stitching pattern for the seat bolsters on upper trim levels. As far as exterior dimensions go, the TLX reigns superior in most areas, but that is far from the case when it comes to interior room. For instance, the Q50 beats it out in headroom and legroom in the front and rear but does lose out by more than 2 inches in the hip room department. The ATS beats out the TLX in headroom but falls inferior in all other departments. In fairness, Acura hasn't released shoulder room specifications as of the time of this writing, but with the Q50 getting 56.7 inches in the front and 56.1 inches in the rear, chances are it may beat out the TLX in this department as well. So, in theory, if space is ultimately that important to you, you may want to seriously consider the Q50 as it has a few extra inches where it really matters. Drivetrain. The TLX will carry over with the same engine options as before. We originally thought that Acura might see fit to provide at least some kind of minor upgrade in the powertrain department, but unfortunately, that isn't the case. The TLX will carry over with the same engine options as before. The entry-level engine is a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder that delivers 206 horsepower at 6,800 revolutions per minute and 182 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 revolutions per minute. For those who prefer the power of 6 pistons, higher trim levels come with the 3.6-liter V6 unit that has 290 horsepower and 6,200 revolutions per minute and 267 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 revolutions per minute. The V6 gets variable cylinder management to assist with saving fuel. Fuel economy ratings for the 4-cylinder come in at 24 mpg in the city, 35 mpg on the highway, and 28 mpg combined, while the V6 gets 21, 34, and 25, respectively. V6 models equipped with Acura's SH-AWD system manage to pull 21 mpg in the city, 31 mpg on the highway, and 25 mpg combined. The V6 gets variable cylinder management to assist with saving fuel. As far as shifting duties are concerned, 4-cylinder models get an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission with paddle shifters, while the V6 models get a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters. Both drivetrain setups get Acura's precision all-wheel steering. Most models roll on a 225 50th series, 18-inch tires, while the TLX A-Spec rides on 245 40th series, 19-inch Michelin Primacy rubbers. Drivetrain specifications. Competing performance. When it comes to performance, the TLX is available with just 2 engine options that give you either 206 ponies or 290. But that isn't the case when it comes to the Q50 or the Cadillac ATS. The Q50 is available with a 2.0-liter, a 3.0-liter with 2 different outputs, and a 3.5-liter hybrid setup as well. The 2.0-liter delivers 208 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 258 pound-feet at 3,500 revolutions per minute. 3.0T models get a 3.0-liter V6 with 300 ponies at 6,400 revolutions per minute and 295 pound-feet at 1,600 revolutions per minute. Moving up to the Red Sport 400 gets you the same engine, but it's tuned to deliver 400 horsepower at 6,400 revolutions per minute and 350 pound-feet at 1,600 revolutions per minute. Finally, the hybrid model gets that 3.5-liter with 302 horsepower and 258 pound-feet. It is, however, supplemented by an electric motor that delivers 67 horsepower and 214 pound-feet at as low as 1,650 revolutions per minute. All engine options mate to a 7-speed automatic transmission. Leaning your decision toward the Cadillac ATS will have you choosing between 3 different drivetrains: a 2.5-liter, natural aspirated, 4-cylinder, a 2.0-liter, turbocharged, 4-cylinder, and a 3.6-liter V6. The 2.5-liter delivers just 202 horsepower at 6,300 revolutions per minute and 191 pound-feet at 4,400 revolutions per minute. That turbocharged 2.0-liter offers a bit more with 272 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 295 pound-feet at 3,000 revolutions per minute. Finally, the range-topping model gets the 3.6-liter V6 with 321 horsepower at 6,800 revolutions per minute and 275 pound-feet at 4,800 revolutions per minute. Of particular mention here is the fact that models equipped with that 2.0-liter mill require premium gas while the other engine options will run on regular unleaded fuel. Pricing. The 2018 TLX sees a marginal pricing increase across the board, with the entry-level model increasing by as much as $1,000 and the range-topping 3.5L SH-AWD with advanced package increasing by as much as $550. With that in mind, expect to see a sticker price of $33,000 even on the entry-level TLX 2.4 FWD only. If you want the technology package with the 4-banger model, you'll have to shell out $36,700. Moving up to the TLX V6 will have you paying out at least $36,200. Adding the technology package will up your buy-in to $39,900. If you want the A-spec model, you'll need to beg your wife for $42,800 or $44,800 if you want SH-AWD. Prices continue to increase from there, with SH-AWD V6 models climbing to $38,200. Add on the technology package, and you'll pay $41,900. Going with the SH-AWD with the advanced package will cost you $45,750. Competitive pricing. When it comes to the Infiniti Q50, there are literally 16 different variants to choose from. Pricing for the 2.0T starts out at $33,950 or $35,950 with AWD. Opting for the premium model will set you back $38,400 or $40,400 with AWD. Finally, the 2.0T Sport and Sport AWD will set you back $42,300 or $44,300, respectively. Going with the 3.0T trim gets you a starting price of $40,650 or $42,650 with AWD. The 3.0T Signature starts out at $38,700 or $40,700 with AWD. The 3.0T Sport commands $44,650 or $46,650 with AWD. Then there's the Red Sport 400 model that you'll shell out $48,700 for in two-wheel drive or $50,700 in AWD form. Lastly, there are two versions of the hybrid. The two-wheel drive model starts out at $47,800 while AWD will set you back $49,800. On the Cadillac front, there are only 4 models to choose from. The entry-level 2.0-liter turbo sedan will set you back number $34,595 while the turbo luxury comes in at $38,395. Moving up to the 3.6-liter premium comes in at $43,995 while the range-topping premium performance trim commands $46,995. All models are available with AWD, but you'll have to add $2,000 to the entry-level pricing to have 4-driven wheels. Other options. BMW 3 Series. The 3 Series is BMW's resident sedan in this niche. It features a semi-aggressive exterior with a highly luxurious exterior. It can be had in 5 different forms that include the entry-level 320i, the 328D, 330i, 330e, and the 340i. A 2.0-liter engine is offered in the 320, 328D, and 330i. In the 320i and 328D it delivers 180 horsepower and delivers a 60 mph sprint in 7.1 and 7.4 seconds, respectively. The 330i, on the other hand, is tuned to deliver 248 horsepower and can deliver the same sprint in 5.5 seconds. The 330e uses that same 2.0-liter as the lesser models pair with an electric motor to deliver 248 horsepower and a 5.9-second sprint to 60. For those that want more go juice, there's the 340i with a 3.0-liter V6 that delivers 320 horsepower and a 4.6-second sprint to 60 miles per hour. Pricing for the 3 Series starts out at $33,450 or $35,450 for the xDrive 320i and climbs to as much as $49,900 for the 340i xDrive. Learn more about the BMW 3 Series here. Mercedes C-Class. The Mercedes C-Class is another stout option in the niche, but it also comes in a bit more expensive than the rest of the pack. There are only 2 models that don't wear an AMG badge, the C300, and C350e. Both make use of a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder with 241 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. The C350e, however, has an electric motor that raises total system output to 275 ponies and 443 pound-feet. The C300 is available with AWD as well for a $2,000 premium and can hit 60 miles per hour in 6 seconds. The C350e makes the same sprint in 5.8 seconds. The lesser versions of the C-Class are definitely filed under the executive sedan area of this market and shouldn't be considered a sports sedan, really. It does have an attractive exterior, however, and the interior is a very nice place to spend time. Pricing starts out at a whopping $39,500 and climbs to as much as $46,050 for the hybrid. If you want the 4MATI SH-AWD system, you'll have to add on $2,000 to the starting price, but it's not available on the C350e. Find out more about the Mercedes C-Class here. Conclusion. Normally, I'm pretty harsh on brands to don't bring much in terms of updates with mid-cycle facelifts. But, when it comes to the TLX, I think it got exactly what it needed. The car looks much sportier now that the Acura beak is no more, while new headlights, wheels, and taillights will keep the rest of the exterior looking fresh. Inside, Acura gave the TLX exactly what it needed, an updated and modern infotainment system. It might look the same, but the last system was a bit slower than I would have liked, and this new system should solve that problem. Plus, those weird menus have hopefully been dealt with. On the outside it's a bit larger than most of the competition and usually comes in just a bit cheaper as well. You generally do get more car for the money, so it's a win-win all the way around. What do you think of the refreshed TLX? Is it worth the money, or would you rather wait until the next-gen model makes its debut a few years down the road? Let us know in the comments section below. Love it. Precision grille, mild revisions to the exterior, updated technology. Leave it. Pricing increase will likely go on unchanged until at least 2021. Strong competition.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.